Okay, going to us. Hello and welcome to this extra special episode of Dum Dum Die, an all-female usually, but this weekend, today, this day, it's an all-female and a male, but still 100% all awesome D&D actual play. Usually it's interactive in that I, as the GM, can watch the chat and take ideas from the chat. But because I'm also watching the chat and I'm playing today, you can't tell me, like, kill Paik Geralta, which is my character. But Tristan is going to potentially ask for some assistance, in which case I will tell him what the chat says. So be nice to my character. Everyone else, be the usual. Anyway, so to introduce themselves, we're going to start with, and because we're using the Discord chat, I can see everyone's in the same row, maybe? No, they're not. They would see it differently on their side. I was going to say start with Lena and then work our way across. But that's not how it works. So, Lena, please introduce yourself.
I am Lena, and for today I am playing the detective Los Hatias.
Hey.
Right, someone else.
Okay, I see myself being next to Lena, so I'll join in. Hi everyone, I am Nelly, and today I'm going to be playing Captain Raymond Salt.
I'm Stuart, and I'm going to be playing Zena Renetti.
Hey.
Okay, am I next or is it Tristan?
Well, who am I playing, really?
Everyone else.
So you go.
Wednesday, someone.
I think
Wednesday has
internet difficulties
yeah.
again.
The internet has left her.
Oh dear.
Okay,
I'm
well,
not playing anyone.
Tristan, you can introduce yourself after, but there's Wednesday.
So
Wednesday, you
A
are...
robot.
I'm
Oh no.
So bad.
She's definitely playing a robot.
This is what online D&D is like.
This is what online remote working is like.
Also true.
Wednesday, I don't know if you are going to maybe just drop to voice and let's see if that's better. Hey, Atrocious. Also nice to see you here. And yeah, we're trying to do it online, but South African internet sometimes is a fun game. But we'll just continue a little bit and then hopefully Wednesday we'll come back. I'm playing Paik Geralta for IP reasons. And then Tristan is our GM today.
Yay!
So, Tristan, over to you.
Are you? And what about Wednesday?
We're going to wait for her, but wait as in we'll continue. And then Wednesday's character will appear as they do.
As they often do. Cool, fantastic. So we're playing Azorius 99. I've run this, play tested it once before, both with Wednesday and Kirsten, so I will try utilize them by way of not having to repeat a certain pathway, hopefully, so you guys do something fresh. But yeah, we're going to be playing Azorius Senate Peoples in Ravnica, standard house rules. Main goal here is fun and tell a good story together. In a second, I'm going to ask you all to describe your characters. If you can think about what your character looks like in this fantasy Ravnica version of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Think about that. Yeah. So yeah, I can begin unless Wednesday wants to say anything more.
no, I just came back.
You just came back.
Yeah.
All right. We jump right in. The Layev column that deals in investigations and physically enforcing the law is housed in New Prav, in Precinct 2 of the 10th District of Ravnica. And let us consult said book to describe this place. It is the tallest structure in the 10th District, the austere New Prav, which consists of 3 towering columns, reminding everyone of the omnipresence of the Azorius Senate. Each column serves as the headquarters for one of the 3 branches of the Senate. Inside, spacious chambers on the lower floors give way to a host of offices upstairs, where day-to-day assignments are issued and the strategy of maintaining law is continually honed. Musterings and meetings happen on the morgue level. I don't know why. And in the bowels of the building, the musty air reminds you of the unmoving foundations of justice. At this stage, I would like you each to describe your characters and where they might be in the briefing room, this musterings and meetings office. Anyone can go first.
Are we going to go in the same order? I think it's easier.
Maybe. So Losa.
So, Losa is, she's pretty much standing at the back of the briefing room. She kind of leaning against the wall, looking at the other people filing in. She's hardly interested in what's going on around here until the briefing actually starts. She's wearing her uniformed coat. It's like a very long coat coming down to her knees with a blue and white uniform. The badge of office is currently stitched to her, or pinned to her uniform just above the breast. And her long black hair is flowing around her shoulders, and she's got a very stern expression on her face as people file in. Just
on
waiting
brand.
for the meeting to start.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm the captain, so obviously I'm up front. I'm staying at the podium. I'm a tall, older gentleman. I look stoic, but I could be happy, I could be sad, I could be ecstatic. You'll never know. And I'm just preparing my paperwork at the podium, at the front of the room, and I'm just waiting for everyone to sit and get settled. And I'm wearing also military, like not military, also my uniform. Dark fine clothes, so to speak, and you can see my rank as captain.
Yeah.
Cool. Xena Renetti is standing next to Captain Ray Salt. She is dressed in everyday civilian clothing in the city of what's the city called?
Ravnica?
The city of Ravnica.
For a moment, I'm like, wait, no. So yeah, she's dressed in like a pink jersey and what could be considered to be like denim jeans, and just filing her nails next to Captain Rayhold. Salt.
For IP reasons.
For IP reasons.
Thank you. Next. Is it Funstach?
No, it's Carla.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm sort of in the middle of the room and chatting to other people in the room and just talking about the criminal I caught last night, who was super, super dangerous, and I caught him all by myself. I'm dressed in casual commoner's clothing. However, I've got my badge pinned on the inside of my jacket, and I am just telling everyone that I'm pretty cool, and I'm sitting on not on a chair. I'm like leaning on a desk, and that is my general vibe. And I have long hair because it's Ravnica, and I think Paik could pull off long hair. So, but it's not like in a ponytail. It's loose.
Okay.
Yeah.
With you. Nice, thank you.
So Derry Jeffs is standing towards the back of the room. I'm standing against the wall, quite near the door, making sure that everybody is, that everybody's present. I'm very tall. I'm a very large gentleman. I'm dressed in fine clothing with half plate armor, and my Azorius insignia is very visible. It is pinned to my chest plate. Yes, pinned to my chest plate, where everybody can see it. And everything is looking very shiny. And I am trying to look very stern.
Trying. Got you.
Trying.
All right.
Yes, I'm trying to look stern.
So those are our key officers who will be going on this adventure for today. I've just sent a little text for Nelly to read because Captain Ray Salt gathers everyone's attention and is ready to give their daily briefing.
Yes, of course. So, good morning, everyone. Get seated. Don't get comfortable. So, Arbiter Leonis II, overseeing the Silver Column, is distressed with the murder of one of his judges. I don't remember which judge, but anyway. There we go. Deputy Senator Brazio was meant to preside over a court ruling on the conviction of Advocate Hagen this week. It had come to light that Hagen may be embroiled in certain rulings over convicted prisoners. Brazia had been stalwart in her previous decisions. I like that. I like a woman who's firm. It had come to light that Hagen may be and then 5 days after, saying a particular prisoner connected to Hagen behind bars, she was found dead in her home. With 48 hours to go until Hagen was meant to go to trial, you can see how this is not ideal. Supreme Judge Isperia, I know her, has advised that it is public knowledge that the Azorius work with the Celestia Conclave, Boris Legion, and Orzkov syndicates. Seeing as the latter is potentially implicated in this investigation, the Sphinx urges us to tread carefully. We are aware that various advocates were working with the Senator Brazia, and that the case with Hagen was quite rare. What we do know is that the sole witness of the murder was Homunculus, who has since escaped Azorius protection. Details from the crime scene are being handled by Detective Lonehag. If we can track down this lead, I say, we can find Brazia's killer. Use your contacts, use your insights. Let's get out there, team. Dismissed.
What would you all like to do?
Sorry, guys, just 1 second. Dark Wolf, thank you so much for the note. I realize it's because I've made a different setup today, and the keyboard is right by my mic. So that's why. So I'm not going to... Yeah, he's like, it's not like crazy loud, but it's loud. So I'm not going to type, but when you guys are in chat, I am looking at it, and I'll do like thumbs up and things. And I'll let Tristan know if there's anything important, which, as a matter of fact, Dark Wolf says, it's awesome to see you here, Tristan and Kostan. What's up?
Oh.
No, we appreciate, also, Dark Wolf, we appreciate any assistance. We are a community-made channel because you guys make our channel. So that's it. When Captain Salt mentioned the Sphinx, I just whispered to someone nearby, I'm like, having a nickname is so cool.
On brand.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, what are you doing? Why are you still here?
I'm like, I turn to the person nearest me, who I imagine is Derry, and I'm like, or Losa, and I say, I was focused on the Sphinx being so cool, aka the chat. So what are we doing?
Losa's just gonna sigh in disbelief and go, "We're supposed to go and investigate this murder.
Cool.
You're supposed to be paying attention to the captain."
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay, is everybody ready to get going?
I'm always ready. I say as I try and get up, and I like maybe bump a couple desks and try and look cool.
And where are you going?
I'm just gonna hang back and let the others tell me.
All right, team. I think what we need is a plan. The captain is relying on us to do our best. Does anybody have any contacts or leads that we could possibly use?
Well, I've got a lead, but I'm kind of loath to go to him.
Is he your lover? Is that why? Losa, tell me everything.
So I just give this kind of death glare at this stupid and inane statement and go, "Of course he's not my lover."
I feel like that's what you would say.
we need to use every lead we have. If you have a contact, please use it. I insist
Very well.
you use it.
I'll go and speak to him, Captain. Yeah, we can find him in the Rakdos sector. I know him from sort of an incident that happened a few years back. But yeah, enough speaking. Let's just go. So I look kind of uncomfortable from being in the spotlight so long. Just kind of walk off, going to the door.
Excellent. Do you all follow?
Yeah, I'll follow, and I'm just gonna be like, "Oh, Losa has a secret story," and I'm gonna look very excited.
Good.
I'm
All right.
going to be like sort of at the back because I need to make sure that everybody's going to be involved with this investigation.
I look at everyone and I say, "Okay, team, I'm going to speak to the mortician and look at the judge's body and see if there are any more clues." And I'm gonna walk to the morgue.
And Xena goes, I go where the captain goes. Exit stage left, and voraciously walks out.
Excellent. Well, it looks like we have now split the party, so let's do that D&D thing. Cool. So the group of you that are being led by Losa to Precinct 5, which is where Losa remembers you can find this particular contact somehow associated with the Rakdos. We'll go there first, and then we'll cut back to the captain and Xena, who go to the morgue level to inspect some things. Cool. So, snap, flash, fade to the entrance to this pain club, which let us consult book once again. Security, privacy, and terror are the priorities of every Rakdos nightclub. If I could share a map with you, I would. But the first thing you notice upon entering this place, which Losa you recall with no small amount of disgust from your time, but also it was vivid and it was very romantic at the same time.
I knew it.
You step into an entry vestibule. If anyone knows the Rakdos map for the nightclub, I am referencing that thing pretty much almost directly. So as you walk in, I'd say it's sort of late morning, maybe midday. So it's that weird smell of nightclubs you get when you walk in there and it's not late at night and you're not a little bit inebriated. It's just a little bit sickly. But to your left immediately, there's a short counter, and there is a lizard folk behind it. Sort of, you see a coat rack, and then a door behind them leading to, assumedly, security areas. And they are just sort of manning a double door entrance into the club itself. And as you walk in, they give a nod to you. Yeah.
So I'm just going to walk up to the lizard folk and say, "We're looking for Pimento. Is he about?"
Oh, I didn't know he was expecting coppers. Yeah, he's inside. You don't cause any trouble now. You're here.
And he smirks.
I seriously think about punching him, but I restrain myself because we're here in business. I turn to the rest of my group and say, "We might want to remove our badges here. Cops are not really welcome in this district. We shouldn't be flashing around our badges." And I fiddle, taking off my badge and putting it into my coat pocket.
Mine was already hidden. I've got undercover waxed, and then I'm going to turn to Derry and wisp and mouth the words "Pimento," and then turn back looking cool.
Under no
Excellent.
circumstances am I removing my insignia, and I'm going to sort of shine it like bit more with my sleeves so that it shines even brighter.
The lizard folk sort of not guard, but like entryway person just sniggers and goes,
Azorius. So orderly.
As he says that, I'm just gonna like turn around and push him up against the wall and say, "Hold your tongue, lizard, unless you want to lose it."
Oh, so very un-Azorius of you. Of course.
I turn around in disgust and start making my way into the nightclub.
Cool. You enter into a large nightclubby area. On the one end are just sort of booths cornered off like private areas, and then there's a couple of tables dotted around. What catches your eye immediately with the really high ceiling are these suspended cages. And for those of you who know how Rakdos nightclubs work, generally they'll put animals or people in there to do crazy blood things. On the other end of this massive area that you've entered into is a raised stage, sort of conventional theatrical sort of stage itself, and there are hanging cages, 3 of them, and sitting on the edge is a man, Losa, you recognize, and some of you might as well, a lean citizen with wild dark hair and crazy eyes. They're dressed somewhat slovenly at the moment, but he seems friendly and approachable enough. Losa, you know this is until it seems pertinent that he stabbed them. What do you guys want to do?
Wait, just repeat that he stabs them.
So you know he has the quality of a friendly, approachable person, and then that he randomly has spouts of violence, unexplained.
Okay.
You can go ahead, Lynn.
Sorry guys, Wednesday, do you mind just keeping it on voice, because you keep flipping in and out, and then I have to keep moving the camera, and you don't stay in video enough. Sorry.
It's the connection. I do apologize. This connection is quite balls.
No.
The technical term.
Yeah. Incorrect life choices.
Would we recognize this as Pimento?
You do.
And is he currently conscious or not?
He is indeed. He's sitting perched on the edge of the stage. There's dim light. It's mostly dark, but then these weird red lights and yellow lights here and there. So he's got this weird contrast on his face. But he's just sitting there thinking, slightly rocking on the edge of the stage. If you glance around, the only other figure in the area is what looks to be a woman. Tall, lithe, thin, pale skin, sitting cross-legged, arms akimbo on the table with like red drapings and a massive horned helm on her head, and dark eye makeup and thick black lipsticked lips. And she just watches you as you walk in and gives you a nod.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna like look around the club as I walk in, just assessing that there's no immediate threats. And I walk up to Pimento and like kind of kick him in the boot. Say, Pimento.
He looks
That
at
was
you
my greeting,
a moment.
by the way.
He looks at you and goes, I know, TS. And we're going to snap really quickly to the morgue level, where we have Xena and Salt. You walk in, it's where bodies are kept. And as you walk in, you see the familiar sight of 2 gross-looking, overweight Azorius law mage goblins. Once excellent detectives in their prime, but they've clearly moved beyond that. You know this to be Stalk and Skrully, and they are standing next to Detective Low Hank, going over some papers, and the body is just pulled out of a drawer on the other end of the room. What would you like to do?
Gentlemen, goblins, and I address them. And I say, so what do we know about the body? Can you tell me about what happened to the poor judge?
Detective Lohank turns to you and goes, Captain, yes, indeed. So my men discovered that it was a stabbing, clearly a stabbing, knife in the back.
Can you tell me the nature of the stabbing? Was it close? Was there any resistance? How deep was the wound?
Excellent question. He looks a bit lost for the moment, and he goes, yeah, well, it was, we can surmise by the size of the wound, it's close stabbing. It seems to have been a surprise attack because there was no other struggle other than that. So there was no fight. However they were killed, it was done in surprise.
And I look to Xena and I say, well, perhaps the judge knew this person and didn't resist. All right, detective.
Does Xena know the judge?
Which one, the dead judge?
Yeah.
You want to roll for me like a history check? Because if it's not on your character sheet, I will say it depends.
Well, it
whether
says
you
that
can-
she was once the page of a prominent judge. So I'm just asking if this is the prominent judge that she's a page of.
I would rather it not be, but you can roll a history check to see like if you know.
No, that's
if
fine.
you-
Because we know.
I feel like here's the perfect point to say, chat, does Xena know the dead judge? So put it in there. While Xena is thinking, chat needs like 30 seconds to decide. But while Xena is
Also, how are you
thinking,
rolling?
This is a question. About us. I'm assuming
So-
you don't have a Ray on Discord.
No, when we've been playing our campaign over lockdown now, we've been using Avray, this bot in Discord. You have to like type commands, and you just say like cast spell, and then it automatically pulls from your D&D Beyond character sheet.
damn,
Oh,
okay,
that's
I need to do that, but for you guys. But
Ray sucks.
Yeah, it also went down like this last weekend.
But Kirsten, if Tristan wants you to roll history, you can roll that history, and then depending on if chat says you do or don't know him, and depending on the roll, then Tristan will give you information or not.
Yes. In the meantime, while she's having a think, and Xena like goes to her brain cavern, the two overweight goblins turn to you, Captain, and they say, "You know what? If I were a homunculus, I'd get as far away from the scene of the crime as possible. Yeah. See, the closer you are to danger, the farther you are away from harm. That's the truth. I'm thinking smart."
Indeed,
Not
Jasmine.
the word I use.
You are indeed thinking. Smart is not the word I would use for you. But
Oh!
smart thinking.
They have no reply. They go, "True, Captain, true."
And
Appa-
is it,
apparently, so no, it's Gina. It's Gina, the character. The chat was just confirming who Kirsten's playing. So Gina is the secretary dance, big Gina energy. It's that character.
Yeah.
Literally, chat was just like, "Oh, right," in all caps. So we're gonna
Okay.
wait a
What's
moment.
the story?
okay.
we're waiting.
In the meantime, I'm
Oh,
going to
there's three.
regale.
Wait, there was overlap there.
I rolled a 3.
Oh,
Okay, so for the moment you're just like, I don't recognize this face at all. We'll see if anything suddenly strikes you like a lightning bolt.
in the interim, I'll ask the detective as well, Lohank. Is there any signal, any signs you can find of the homunculus? Anything that could have given us a hint as to where it's gone? Or anything we can find and detect it?
I've got some of my best men out on the streets currently looking. They're tracking it down. It seems to have fled the scene in quite a rush. It definitely seems scared. So we'll see. We're on it, Captain.
Homunculi are known to be quite gentle creatures, but scared is not what we need it to be. Xena, do you have something to say?
Tristan. So,
Yeah.
chat says, Darkwolf says, she performed a thing for him once. She was splendid? Yeah, okay. She was great, apparently. It was her dance crew. He pulled a face to hide how in awe he was, when in actual fact, in real life, he was just walking past the window of their dance studio and was like staring at the dance studio window, checking his face or something. So, that's how she recognizes him.
That is the memory you have, and it'll be remembered the way
Admiring
you
fan.
think. Yeah. So how do you use that information to your benefit now?
Oh, another fan falls through the lives of, like, dastardly people. Homunculus, what do we know about them? They're small, wings. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tristan.
No, it's all good. Yeah.
Like a gargoyle type thing.
Well, no, yeah. They don't turn to stone or anything.
No, not stone, but like a small goblin with wings.
If you Google search on like D&D Beyond or anything, a homunculus, there's a little picture of them. They look like a teddy bear with wings.
Yeah.
Kind of cute, like. But yeah,
Good job,
detective.
Ron. Where would I find it?
If you were a what one?
If I were to adopt one, where would I find it?
Maybe this one needs a
Correct.
home.
Maybe it might after this. But yeah, Detective Lohang says, yeah, got my best men on it. I think if you can get any leads to help us, Captain, that would be much appreciated.
Continue as you were. And I'm gonna walk out the morgue, and I'll look to Xena and say, I think we need to find out if the rest of the team has any more leads. In this world, how do I communicate? Do I use like?
Does anyone have
like
ideas of
a
how to
runner?
communicate in Ravnica?
Do you not have message?
Probably
There's
not.
probably at the very.
I feel like there's
For the
a
sake of the
message
story.
switchboard.
Yeah, there must be. There must be like a mage you can go to who like has it ready to go, like all officers, and can communicate. So yeah, you can probably go to your office, and there's a means of sending a message to find out where everyone is, and you can do just that.
All right, I'm gonna go to the office, gonna pick up my mage phone, and I'm going to contact Derry, and I'll say to Derry, can you follow up with any contacts? We need a lead right now. All we know is that the attacker was definitely quite close to the judge, was able to attack the judge quite quickly, and the judge may have known the attacker. What leads do you have for me? And I pass that on.
I'm hoping that was under 25 words, but it probably cut off just at the very end of it. But you got most of the message, Sergeant. So you have 25 words to reply.
I am a captain, young man.
But he's talking to the sergeant.
I'm talking to Sergeant Derry Jeff.
I was
Sorry.
like, I thought you were calling me a sergeant. I was like,
How
did I
rude!
get
How rude!
demoted? I was like, how rude. Okay.
Is Wednesday here?
Sorry. Yeah.
Yes. So you just received that mental message of the voice of your captain in your head, as he regularly does, wanting to ask where you are and how your lead's going.
Okay, so when I message back, it's 25 words, right?
Mm-hmm.
Captain, we are in a place of ill repute. Is ill repute 2 words, did they say?
It's hyphenated.
It's hyphenated, so it's one word, ill repute. It reeks of violence and death. Losa appears to be meeting her lover. Does that work? Yes. I think it's like 21.
And as you reply, we are back in where you are replying from. Pimento looks at Losa, having just greeted you, and goes,
So, okay, I may have gotten myself into something a little exceptional. You don't need the details. There was a bet, a deal I lost. To save my soul, I've got to wow a crowd at this club. Problem is, it's a Rakdos club, and we all know they prefer blood and gore in their shows. I can't do it alone. So please help me. If two of you even join me on stage, the other two can be plants in to make an audience to maybe just show how good it's going, and then I might get my soul back, and then I'll tell you what a spirit told me about this homunculus that you're looking for. I'm assuming that you've filled him in on why you're there.
Pake lifts his hand and he's like, oh, me, I'll be on stage, undercover on stage in Rakdos. Yes! And then he's just like looking around for costumes. He's just like, and then we're going to get information. This is going to be epic.
So I'm just gonna turn to Pimento and say, I've seen your shows. They suck.
And
He looks at you and goes,
Not untrue. Kinda hurtful, but I like it.
And I'm going to shout from like the corner where I was looking at like curtains or something to see if I could turn it into a costume. I was like, not with me in it! Yes!
roll a investigation check if you're looking for something in and around to kind of add to your skill. In the meantime, Losa, can you please roll a d8 for me?
5.
5. All right, you're rolling on the performance options table for a Rakdos club, and number 5 is a pain artist. So Pimento, or is it Pimento? Yeah, Pimento
suggests that you do that standard thing where it's just about pain. If you can maybe just hit him and damage him and hurt him, and that'll impress the lady in the back, and then he can get his soul back.
So Losa gets this really small, just hint of a smile at the corner of her lips. She goes, huh, kind of like last time, eh? I can do that.
He gives you a smile and a wink. All right. We've got a few minutes to practice. I was allowed a rehearsal time. All right, you. What are you doing there, Geralta?
I rolled 18.
18. Yeah, you find like some old rags and stuff on the side, and you can like swirl it around you to make like a cool cape.
Which I do. It's probably the coolest cape you've ever seen. And you know what? I'm going to use a skill that lets me be better at charisma. Yeah, okay, I'm going to augment my presence with divine power. As a bonus action, I grant myself +5 bonus to charisma. For the next 10 minutes. I'm just like, this is the moment you've been waiting for. Undercover, on stage, at Rakdos. Boom. And then, as I put the cloak on, it's like that where people wipe their hand in front of their face and they're like, smiling. Not smiling. Smiling. And that's what I'm going to do.
Sergeant Jeffs and Detective Tiers, suddenly something about Geralta in that cape, in that light, on that stage is just incredibly appealing. He looks like he's got it.
I'm willing to assist. It looks like Geralta has the right idea, and we should be doing this in order to help Pimento to save his soul. So I'm going to march up towards the stage.
I'm going to turn to Pimento and say, you only need 2, right? But what about me hitting you?
Yeah, we definitely need you to hit me. And, I mean, Geralta can do something. Jeffs, you look like you swing a mean punch. Maybe you hang back. You just give me a good applause. Yeah, okay. Let's do this thing.
Paker's going to be a little bit offended. And then he's going to look at Derry and he's going to be like, no, I mean, fair enough.
Can the two of you on stage... actually, Losa, can you just roll an attack? Just use your strength bonus. I'm assuming you can describe how you want to attack him. And then Geralta, can you roll a performance check? And because of what you've done, I know you've got a high charisma. I don't know if it'll affect your performance stat.
So I rolled a 2. I got a +3. And my other, the thing said +5, but it said to persuasion. So I think I rolled 5.
Okay. All right, cool. Thank you for that. Losa?
Oh no.
Cool.
14. Yeah, I mean, he's not wearing like armor or anything. So how do you cause him pain?
I am just going to step right up to him and ram my flat of my hand up on his chin. As hard as I can.
Whack! At the same time as you do this, Geralta, trying to kind of stumbles over the drapings that he's thrown over himself and like stumbles in the background, and there's a moment when it just looks like children like messing around on stage and looks a bit horrific. Jeffs, you witness this from the audience.
I can't clap. I can't do it. This is not entertainment. I sort of like hold air like I'm going to clap, and it's a real struggle, and I just can't do it.
Pimento looks at you, looks back at the two of you on stage, and goes, "All right, that didn't. Good work, Losa. I like the instinct. Just let's. We need blood. Geralta, make it happen. We got to get blood on the stage. All right. With you in a second, miss." And he waves to the sort of diva in the back.
Oh, so I must try and... So I, like, fix my cape, and I walk up quite, like, ostentatiously, and I hold out my pike, and then I realize it gets caught in the cloak, so I'm like, okay, I'll just use the dagger, and then I'll pull out a little dagger, and then I'm like, stabby stab, and then I'm gonna try stab him, but, like, in the shoulder or something.
All right. You can roll that attack.
While Losa, what is the next thing you do to create this pain art?
Okay. I think what I'm gonna do is a series of combination attacks. I'll backhand him across the face, like backhand, and then immediately dip my hand and smack him straight in the balls. And as he bends over, I'm gonna elbow him against the chin again. And as he falls backwards, I'm gonna help him fall over and slam him into the ground.
Amazing. Can you please roll for me 3 different strength checks and then just give them to me in sequence? Geralta, what was your roll?
13. I'm rolling like a boss.
Okay, cool. Noted. Jeff, you're about to witness. You're about to witness some things. All right.
I'm about to witness intense violence.
Those are actually really good rolls. 14, 17, and 15. I like this dice.
Amazing. So it is exactly as you described. Pimento is still looking at Geralta. You come up and you just wham, wham. He bends over double. When he's on the ground, you get into him. Geralta walks up to his prone body and goes,
and stab!
The punctuation at the end is a stab in his shoulder, blood pouring from it. He winces and whines on the floor. And Jeffs, you hear in the back corner a little bit of a giggle and a polite golf clap from the diva in the back.
Okay, I am absolutely mortified by this display of violence, and I'm going to walk up onto the stage and I'm going to say, the ultimate object of the law is to remove violence from society, and I'm going to start trying to gather everybody together to make amends. Violence is not the way.
So
as you do so,
I'm just going to turn to Geralta and say, get him out of here. He's going to ruin the plan.
And then I'm going to say, all right, 100% Clutch. That's your nickname I gave you for undercover. I'm Painsky, you're Clutch. Okay, I'm going to go grab Dodo. That's it. That's Derry. And then I'm going to grab him and use my persuasion, which didn't work for my charisma, to sort of usher him out the club.
All right, as you attempt to kind of deal with each other, Jeff's wanting to stop the violence, you just wanted to get him out of the plan. Pimento kind of brings himself to his feet, and you see him looking past this fuffling on stage, and he spots the diva rise gracefully from her seat, turn and waft out through an adjoining door, seemingly pleased. And he looks at you both and then goes, "It's all right. I think she's pleased. We did all right." And he spits out some blood.
Yeah, that was fun. Let's do it again.
He winks at you one more time. "All right. I said I'd give you some information. Thank you. Thank you for getting me my soul. There's this spirit that spoke to me once, just outside of Vid Gobac. Says there's an entrance from the Western Plaza, and if you knock 7 times on the grate to the drainage shaped like a banana, there's a way through. They said they saw a little homunculus creature fly in through one of the tower windows. That's how you get in. That's how you find your homunculus."
So I'm going to flip out a little notebook and just take notes of everything he's saying. Because there's no way I'm going to remember all of that.
That is totally fine. And so Losa makes note. He goes, "I gotta thank you guys. That was amazing."
Yeah, anytime. I'll come back for a repeat later. Turn around and start walking out to the door again.
And the other two?
Geralta, what are you doing? We shouldn't be doing this. Violence is not the way that Azorius...
I'm going to say to him, "Derry, you confuse me. You are built for violence. But it's fine. We've got a really cool clue. There's a banana. There's a secret knock. Come on, Clutch. Come on, Painsky. Come on, Dodo." That's your nickname, by the way. I point to Derry. And I'm going to say, and I'm going to look around, and is there anyone else in the club? I'm keeping this. I feel like I earned this. And then I'm going to keep the drape.
There is another lizard folk just in the corner that seems to have entered with a mop and a bucket and looks up at you and goes, carries on mopping.
I'm like, that's consent! Sweet! And then I'm going to walk out.
Fabulous. You make your way.
I'm just going to say to Derry, I respectfully disagree. I feel like we helped him, even if it was in a highly entertaining way.
And I'm going to lean in and say, title of your sex tape!
Holly, I feel like you've got these all written down, just ready to fire.
My facial expression is like that, like you know, that painting of that guy like screaming into the abyss or whatever it is.
The scream.
Yeah, the scream. My face is that like that. Like I'm so like I'm kind of disgusted and I'm mortified and like I don't understand why I'm friends with these people.
With these thoughts and feelings, you step out into the relatively fresh air of Ravnica in the afternoon. What are the two, Xena and Salt, doing? So you just had this message. They told you what was up. What do you do with that information? Where are you now?
Well, they're still at the Pain Club. I would have gone back to my office, and I called Xena into my office. I asked her to close the door, and I said, like, I think it's not the homunculus. I'm gonna call I need to make a call. I'm gonna try to contact the Supreme Judge Isperia and say like and then I said, look at Xena and said like, this is on the hush hush between you and I. Okay.
And Xena's just like miming like you don't see anything kind of motion.
Okay.
And then she like runs right up to Holt, like basically almost like he's holding a phone and is like trying to listen in onto the message.
The telepathic conversation, yes. Good.
Yeah.
Should be good.
You know, I
Right.
have more personal contact, but as you were, and I kind of slowly push her away. And I call, and I'm going to call the Supreme Judge Isperia and say, I suspect the homunculus is not at fault here. We should try to make sure no one tries to kill it in case this is an inside job. Do you know anything that might help my team and I?
Wow!
That was like 25.
Oh yeah, that's I'm gonna say, I'll speak very slowly. Space, stop, blah 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 blah, stop, blah blah blah, stop. Yeah.
And it's exactly the way Raymond Salt would do. It's perfection and neat and tidy. There's a moment of silence before you hear a response in your brain with the message spell, and it says, "Your call is important to us. Please hold." And you don't hear anything else.
Damn it! Don't these people know we're being serious? Okay, let me call Derry. Hopefully, they have more information for us.
I like the idea of like an unlimited message spell in your office that you can just like contact other people.
Yeah, because I'm just like I avoid going out and dealing with people too much. So Kevin says I should speak to more people. I refuse. I contact Derry and I say, Derry, do you have news for me? Do you have a lead?
Captain, we have a lead. Sorry, I have to count the words, otherwise it's not gonna work. We have a lead. Meet us at the banana.
Vescopa Bank!
Oh, right.
I'm gonna say you can hear that. Yeah.
Okay, 'cause-
Okay. Yeah.
You still have some more words. Do you just leave it at
That is my
that?
message. What are my other words?
Derry loves bananas.
I like
Let's say
it.
the last
Derry
thing.
loves bananas. Yes.
The last thing you
that
hear,
works.
Captain, is Derry loves bananas.
I like that.
All right.
Well, it explains why that man is so huge. He does eat a lot of bananas. Xena, we're going to the bank.
1 second. So, welcome Major Victory
Right.
and welcome Cat's Glove. As Darkwolf mentioned, we're not typing because the typing sounds like clackety clack on the sound the speaker. But do watch for visual cues from me. Also, who's winning? I'm gonna say me, but no one's winning. This is how D&D works. No one's winning, unless you guys are having a good time. In which case, winning.
All right. So we're gonna say that we fade to you rejoining with your entire party, because I will assume that the sergeant and Losa with Geralta will start making your way to the place. So you make your way to precinct 1. It takes some time. I think it takes roughly like 20 minutes to get across the precincts, and you meet up in the plaza with everyone, and you share the information that Losa has written down in the notebook, so you know exactly where to find this one particular grate shaped like a banana on the side of Vid Gobac Bank, and you see an entrance that reveals itself to you.
What time of day is this right now?
It should be, we're going to say it's like mid-afternoon at this point.
Okay, so it'd be pretty conspicuous of a group of people in the plaza now going towards this banana-shaped grate.
We're going to assume that the banana-shaped grate is not in clear line of sight in the plaza. So you meet in the plaza, and then you make your way to the bank, and then like around the back in one of the alleys, there's a grate sort of near the ground.
Ominous, I like it. Yes, this is good. This will do.
I'm just gonna tell everyone before we go that we are now officially Banana 7, because even though there's only 5 of us, Derry and Salt count as 2 extra each because they're so amazing, and we have to knock 7 times, so we are now Bananas 7.
Gosh, yeah. Well, you knock 7 times, and the grate shifts magically aside, and you are able to slip into a secret passageway.
Nina,
All right, team, be on your guard.
Kirsty, you were trying to say something, but your mic didn't pick it up.
sorry. I don't know. It's a bit crackly for me at the moment. Xena basically looks at the grate, is not really sure what's down there. She's like, Captain, do I have to go down here? This is not like the performance life I've dreamed of.
Well, Xena, you...
Well,
Yes.
Xena, indeed.
Hello?
Yeah, well, Xena, you could stay out here by yourself, potentially dangerous places where there are potentially dangerous people waiting to attack you in potentially dangerous ways, but you are a woman of your own choices. But I insist you come with us.
Like, as she's like making her way down the grate, she like steps on Geralta's head and like kind of clambers clumsily, but ends it in a fantastic dance move, like it was all intentionally planned.
Excellent. So you find your way into a dark corridor that has a few sparse sconces lit, showing dim light. And as you move down the corridor, you first feel the cold, and then you sense one of the indentured spirits that you know to be in and around Vid Gobac Bank. They are both guards and just decoration, I suppose. This one doesn't seem aggressive. It just floats towards you and nods as if it knows that you have used this entrance conspicuously, and then kind of drifts by each of you, and as it does, you feel this cold energy, and it goes back to the entrance you just came through, as if to guard it and watch it.
Are those spirits
Can
like...
Xena start performing Thriller as a bardic inspiration to her teammate?
Make a performance check.
Yeah.
What was the question there?
Can we do these spirits talk? So could we ask, like, who have you seen come past here?
My gut reaction is that the answer is no. This might be quick on D&D Beyond, but let me first confirm whether they can actually speak things, or if there is any way to communicate with them.
Indentured spirit.
I mean, I speak Minotaur, guys.
Oh, very, very well done. What an... it's an undead creature. It knows the languages it knew in life. So you can attempt to, if you would like.
Sure. I'm gonna go with Common, Dwarvish, and Minotaur. Like, I'm not gonna give it a chance to reply until I've done it in all 3 languages I speak. And I'm gonna ask who else had seen in the past day come through the banana. Yeah. And the word for banana in Minotaur is very strange.
Of course, yes, it is. Oh, do you know it off by heart? Can you
I do know the word for banana in Minotaur.
Yeah?
It is Harunana.
Harunana.
It kind of sounds like that song. Harunana. That song, you know what song I'm talking about?
I remember that song.
Yeah, good stuff. Good times.
So, 2 out of those 3 languages you attempt, the spirit doesn't seem to recognize, but one of them it perks up, kind of listens, and it makes as if to respond, but all you hear is guttural breath that sort of leaks out into the air, but it does lift one skeletal, spectral hand and then point down the corridor, and then like that. Up.
Well, that was helpful. Thank you, I say in all 3 languages.
It nods and just turns its spectral body away to float near the entrance to the grate.
I'm gonna say it's probably down the corridor. Also, guys, if I turn into a spirit, please give me some breath mints or something.
Gibraltar? To help that, bro. Because you stink. Tristan, I looked at Bardic Inspiration. I don't need to roll anything for it. It's just like, if you want me to do a performance check about how fantastic my thriller is.
That's what I thought you were doing. But if you're just doing Bardic Inspiration, if you want to give that, then yeah, give it to someone and you do the dance. I just thought you wanted to demonstrate the quality of that dance.
I mean, like, it's Xena. It's fantastic. What do you mean?
Of course, there's no doubt. There's no doubt.
It's a true Xena fashion. The thriller that is performed.
Who do you give inspiration to?
Just double checking our character level is 4.
Right.
Okay, so I can Bardic Inspire up to my character level, if I'm reading this correctly.
Oh, house rule. Everyone should know their own spells.
I can use this feature a number of times equal to my charisma modifier. Sorry, not level. Charisma modifier is +5, so everybody gets inspired by my thriller performance.
What dice do they have?
You get a +6.
Oh,
2 minutes you may use
not
it.
a D6. Yeah. Oh, very good. You all feel very inspired.
A plus
D6.
English!
All
So
right.
Losa, I was just going to say, wow, that was better than she usually sings, but look around at people and stop
I'm going to
wasting time.
clap. I'm
Stop
actually
wasting
going
time.
to clap.
We need to.
I love it.
I didn't get to clap earlier.
You do.
I'm not diddle dialing. Let's go, team.
And you make your way down.
I'm gonna make those motions like as if we're in SWAT, like, and I'm gonna motion that like first it would be like Gibraltar, then Losa, and then I'll show the order, and then Darius in the back because he's like mother hen, and I'll be right behind Gibraltar.
I love how quick we are to like just check the name. Yeah, fantastic. So you go down the short passageway, which leads to a winding staircase that goes up, and you suspect that you are climbing higher up a nondescript tower, and at some point you pass a level. There's a short slit of a window where you see you are now like 1 or 2 stories above ground, which means you're climbing higher and higher, and eventually you find your way to a door, which does open freely and does not seem locked.
So standing on one side of the door, and I'll just show to Geralta, like, resign.
Signal.
Yeah, I'm gonna nod like I know what it means, and I'm just gonna hold out my
Xena, no more game signs, I told you.
and I'm gonna hold out my shield and shout, Azorius 99, open up! And I'm gonna kick the door, even though it didn't need to be kicked.
I love it. As I said, it wasn't locked, so you just boot open a door. Wham! And it's a more spacious corridor passageway that just is quietly just extending ahead of you. And there's one or two doors, and then at the very end you see a much bigger double door with a short mantle on the side of it.
So I'm just gonna tell Geralta, great Geralta, do you want to announce our presence to everybody here?
We have to let people know that we're the 99.
Yes.
Yeah.
You just announced to everyone in this corridor that we're from the 99. Thank you.
Can't be announcing that we broke into the bank?
We did, and that door was open.
Uh-huh.
It-
And the
The door
banana
doesn't
was
exist
totally
anymore.
open too.
What do you wish to do? You have two doors shooting off on either side of this corridor, one at the very end. To your immediate left, there's a short staircase, much like the one you've climbed, but going down a different direction. You assume that leads to the more bustling areas of the bank proper.
Well, if I was a homunculus, I would not go to the busy area. Let's ignore that way. And you said on the right, was there anything like another door?
Yeah, a couple of feet ahead of you. There's another door to your right.
Geralta, go check that one. No, you're too loud.
What?
Tiaz, go check that door. And I'm whispering all this. Tiaz, go check that door. Derry, have her back. The rest of us continue going, and we'll wait for you.
Okay, so I'm just gonna nod at the captain and move over to the door. Wait for Terry to get it.
I'm standing. Yeah, he's standing behind Losa.
Get in position, and then I'm just gonna slightly feel if the door's locked or not.
You lean against it, and you hear the familiar sound of a lock in place. The door is locked.
And I just turn to Derry and go. And I stand behind Derry.
Okay. Can I roll perception to see if I can hear anything on the other side of the door?
Like, people
Sure, yeah.
step aside. And
Okay, that wasn't
she
a
goes
great
to
roll.
the door and she
That was an
casts
8.
knock.
8 perception. So
Yeah.
Sergeant Derry Jeffs leans in, and as you're like trying to focus, you hear Xena come up next to you, cast her magic, and it's as if she's knocked on the door, but it has this weird arcane echo, and the door handle goes at your face and goes.
Okay.
You can now
Thank you,
slightly
Xena.
see
You're
into a
welcome.
small
And she
room.
steps back.
All right. Is there anything in the room?
Do you push open the door to look a bit more?
Yes. Yes.
You immediately see a short table and chair on the one side, a tiny bookshelf. There's a window looking out to the sort of skyline of Ravnica, and then you particularly see chained to the ground by some sort of weird magical chain, a small homunculus creature. And as it sees you, goes and it tries to dart towards the window. And just before it reaches the window, the chains catch and it goes and falls into the ground.
Aww.
I'm going to rush towards it and try and use my insane barbarian strength to snap the chain.
Roll for me a strengthy check.
Well, while Derry's doing that, Losa's just gonna stand at the door and make sure that no other surprises are gonna charge in from the corridor or the other doors.
Fantastic. You take spotting.
Geralta's
12.
sulking.
Salt only commanded people to go to the first door, right? Nothing else.
Yeah, I just said those two go to the first door, and then we'll wait for them. Geralta, fine, you can go inside. Just stop sulking. Be on guard.
Yes, Captain!
Right. Jeff, so what was the roll?
12.
You bend down, flex your muscles, and the creature is frightened at you so close and at your aggression. But you pull and the chains don't give. There's a moment where you feel like naturally, with this kind of strength that you exert on this kind of metal in this kind of arrangement, they should at least budge. Nothing happens. And as you let go, there's a small glow around the manacle on the homunculus's ankle. And you suspect that this is a magically locked thing.
I am going to... So the captain's message, does it only work when the captain messages?
Well, we assumed that in the offices of the Azorius 99, he had access to an infinite message spell.
Ah. Okay. So does that still apply now or not?
Only if you can cast the spell. If you have that spell prepared or... Yeah.
I cannot do that. I am going to shout out the room in a loud, booming way.
Oh god.
Hopefully go down the corridor and say, Captain, we found the homunculus.
Overly loudly, Captain Ray Salt, you hear this from the door right next to you.
Oh my god! I jolt because I thought it was really loud, but I managed to keep my footing, and I look around. I'm a bit shocked, and I'm going to walk in. I'll say, Xena, please be a good lookout. And when I say lookout, I only look at your nails. And I go walk inside, and I see the homunculus, and
you do indeed.
I look at the manacle. I wonder, okay, that looks strange. I want to cast Identify on the manacle to see if there's anything, what's been used on it, perhaps.
Sure, you can. How does this spell work? Does it just happen? Do you have to roll anything?
So it's instantaneous. So you choose one object that you must touch throughout the casting of the spell. If it is a magic item, you learn its properties and how to use them, and whether it requires attunement to use, blah blah. But there's like nothing else that has to be done, basically. Yeah.
Okay. You walk up to do this, and again the homunculus is kind of like winces from you, but that then realizes you don't mean it any harm. Losa and Xena, you're outside, and you can see that everyone's inside, and they're gathering around this chain. It glows a moment, and you recognize that the magic of this chain is connected to another thing, another lock, something else that controls it from a distance. And as it glows once more, the homunculus looks up at you and recognizes what you're doing, and sentient eyes look at you and go,
The magic that holds the chain is tied to a signet that Hagen wears around his neck.
Xena whispers to Losa and is like, I wonder when they're going to realize I can unlock the manacles.
So,
And I
just gonna roll her eyes at this. Like, I guess you should probably get in there then.
And I'm gonna call out to Xena. Xena, we need you here. And I look at the creature and I say, you're in good hands now. You're amongst friends. And I show my insignia just to prove that we're with the authority. And I wait for Xena to come, and I ask the homunculus, do you have a name, young homunculus?
It goes down on all fours and then stands up on its hind legs again. I always imagine Stitch as a little homunculus. And it looks at you and goes,
I is Pith. My name is Pith.
I'm sorry, what? Peralta's like, I'm not going to call you that. I'm going to call you Banana Split. That's what you are.
Peralta?
It's fine.
I swear.
I'm like,
he goes, say it?
and then I'm going to move back, and chat heard what you said. Chat heard Pith.
Yeah.
I'm going to move back, and as Gina walks in, I'm like, he showed him the badge, and I get in trouble. I was just letting everyone know the 99 was here. And I'm like, I'm going to call him Banana Split in my mind. And then I'm going to, sulk against the wall.
The little homunculus watches one of you leave and then looks back up at the captain and says,
I served Brathia, until the moment she was murdered. My last act was her nightly tea, which, in my defense, was later than normal. Even though I saw the assassin. If you are looking to arrest him, he's there.
And the little homunculus points to behind the table and chairs in the corner, and that's when you realize slumped in the corner is the body of the agent that Pith is referring to.
Good job, team. I thought you cleared this room, but at last you did not.
I'm gonna say I came into the room last, guys. I'm just saying I would have checked the room. And then I go check the body.
Okay, Xena, please unlock this manacle.
Okay, so then Xena steps into the room, casts dancing lights to make a bright entrance.
Of course you do that first.
And then goes and touches the manacles, and you hear a very loud knock. And I go, "Be free, wild creature!"
Anticlimactically, the chains just go click. And you see the homunculus wiggle its foot out, and it's free. And he thanks you profusely.
Are wild creatures.
Maybe this one is not. He thanks you profusely and then says,
This morning, Hagen came in to congratulate the assassin, paid him the gold he was owed, and then he stabbed him to death.
and that's at the same time, Geralta, when you realize that the body is in fact dead.
Does it look stabbed?
It does in fact look stabbed.
I'm going to say, actually, can I use Divine Sense?
Sure, yeah, for what purpose?
Is this homunculi evil?
Sure, roll your fang.
It's as an action, I just open my awareness. Yeah, and I detect presence of evil.
You cast the spell and you perceive nothing in the room seems evil. Just outside the door, you question whether Losa is evil or just violent. But your perception extends out, and what you sense further away is the lurkings of evil, dark tendrils beyond your current room. So no, the homunculus does not seem evil to you in your senses.
I'm going to say, it all seems to check out. He looks stabbed, the homunculi was chained, but there does seem to be a dark presence lurking. We should go investigate.
Very Lovecraftian. Good job, Geralta, for saying the obvious. I look at Piff and I ask Piff, can I assist you by carrying you? You will need our assistance to keep you in our care.
I am happy to be kept in your care, but I need no help. I am fine. I will stay in the back.
Title of your sex tape.
Good job. So yeah, he's happy to follow you down the corridor.
Okay. Derry, I charge you the only one who has sense with minding young things. I charge you to take care of Piff.
Young things.
And I say, like, Geralta, you said you sensed a dark presence, as if this was a Lovecraftian drama. Where did you sense this presence?
Was it in the second room or in the double door room?
It was further down this corridor. You're not entirely sure whether it was the door to the left at the end or the big double doors at the very end of this long corridor.
Okay, I'm going to say, Captain, you're going to hate me when I say this, but it's somewhere at the end of this corridor. Yes, I know, and I'm going to start walking out the room.
As long as he's ashamed. Yeah.
I'm going to follow Gerald.
All right, you make your way further down the passageway. You see got a plain-looking door on your left, and then ahead of you, some 15, 20 feet, are these large, ornate double doors. On the one side is a mantle adjacent to the door that has 3 marble busts, and each is adorned with differing paraphernalia.
I'm going to whisper to everyone, and I'm going to say, it's probably behind the ornate doors. Ornate doors always speak big, bad, evil.
I nod approvingly at Peg's logic. How big is the homunculus? Like size-wise?
I think it's like
about
3
the size of a
feet.
teddy bear.
Yeah, I think they're quite small. Homunculus.
Okay.
They spell it
Can I
differently.
pick him up?
He
said
might
was-
object.
Oh. Yeah, he said he was okay with just walking and following us.
I can't
Yeah,
find-
but I want to
yeah.
be able to protect him.
Do you ask him?
Yes, I do. I say, Mr. Piss, was it? Please, please, may I pick you up? It will make it easier to ensure your safety.
I
Also
suppose
because
I
I'm
am.
super tall.
Ah, what does height have to do with it?
I won't be able to protect you properly if I have to bend for tall people, man. It's really...
Ah, this is the problem with height. I see. Okay, if it's better for you to protect me, I will accept.
And then he lifts his arms like a little child teddy bear.
I'm picturing
I'm
like the
gonna pick him up and I'm gonna
Mandalorian.
hold him like a teddy bear.
Yeah, I had the same image. I was thinking Mandalorian, like the child, just be like, oh.
We're gonna get him some chicky nuggies later.
If he's good and he behaves, he might even get some good bone broth, you know?
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
gonna pick him up,
You do
yeah.
that, and he's now in your care and on your person. What do you guys want to do?
We need to. This is obviously a puzzle team. Actually, Geralta, not to your mind. Losa. So Losa and Derry, we need, and Gina, of course. Well, Xena. We need to solve this puzzle. Geralta, just keep your wits about you and make sure no one's coming from behind.
Yes, I kind of look quizzically at the captain as he says that. Shake my head slightly.
These are busts. There is obviously a clue for us to open a door. We need to arrange the busts a certain way. Does no one else do Sunday puzzles?
I'm like, does the cartoon count?
For you, yes.
Can you just describe the busts again, Tristan? please?
I can
I'm gonna-
indeed. So they.
I'm gonna just sigh at the captain and go over to one of the busts and start looking over the leftmost one to see if there's like switches or buttons. What is this?
As Losa approaches them, you see that as she lifts up one of the busts, they're each slotted into a groove on this mantelpiece. She picks up one on the far left, which wears a beautiful choke with a silver ruby inlaid in it. The one next to it wears a crown with assorted gemstones in its golden crown, and the third is a necklace made of copper coins.
Attempts to steal them all.
You just want to take them.
So as she reaches out for them, I'm just gonna try and slap her hands.
I'm going to say you do so. We're not going to do opposed roles here of players. We're just going to say as you do.
Okay. Try to move the order.
What order would you like them in relation to the door?
So the door was on the door.
So the door is, I say ornate. It's just the hinges and the handles are finely burnished, polished. They have the quality of a. I don't want to say gold because they're not gold, but they're shiny, of that warmthy yellow metal.
So when Losa picks up one of these statues, if she like picks up the middle one, is there a difference in weight between the two?
So they strangely feel almost identical, even though one of them has a silver choke on and the other one has a crown of gold.
That's strange
Okay.
because they should.
So
I'm just
Taurus.
gonna put both of them down again and say, I think we solved this by moving the jewelry around, not the busts. And I'm going
Okay.
to take like the middle choke and put that on the one, and take this crown and put that on the left one.
All right. So, what is
So-
the arrangement of the jewelry in relation to the door? What's closest and what's furthest?
I'll say the crown is furthest, and the necklace is in the middle. And what was the last one?
The choker.
There's a
Choke?
choke of silver, and then there's a necklace of copper coins.
Hmm.
Okay, so then the choker is the closest one to the door.
You make this arrangement, and the heads in their little grooves on the wall don't move.
Grab and go. Crown closest, silver next, copper last.
So Losa, as you step back and go, this doesn't seem to be working, Xena walks up and goes and arranges them and steps back, and there's a moment, and then with that arrangement, the grooves go, and the door goes open slightly.
I look slightly impressed.
And it goes, you're welcome.
At least you do your Sunday puzzles. Good job.
Yeah, let's go with that. She's still eyeballing the crown.
Xena, if we get out of this, I will give you the authority to maybe touch it. Let's go.
And
Okay,
you
so
step through the double doors?
Yes, I'm going to follow the captain.
Again, yeah, I'm gonna still signal to everyone like their formation, like Derry in the back and Losa and Geralt in the front, and I'll be behind them, and Xena behind me.
Fabulous. You enter a very short sort of entranceway that has one of those little writing desks and strange floor-to-ceiling art, and then another set of massive wooden doors that are open that spill out into an oval office that is quite massive. Lavish rugs and glassware adorn the floor and countertops, respectively. There's a globe of Ravnica that's perched alongside a short bar with assorted bottles. On one end, in front of an immense stained glass window, is a mahogany desk with legs like an elephant, you know, those massive thick ones. And there is a person sitting at the desk, what you recognize to be one of the Orzhov advocates. They've got that ridiculous, they kind of look like if a pope had a thing for gold and jewelry. It's that sort of lavish things, ridiculous height things. He would normally be wearing some sort of massive headdress, but that's like next to him on the desk. And the man looks up, short, very neatly cropped beard, thinning hair, and then sort of thin eyebrows, mostly white. And he looks up as you all enter.
I'm going to use my booming voice again, and I'm going to say, Azorius 99.
99!
You're under arrest for the murder of Judge Brazier.
He smiles very subtly and says, I imagine that you know who I am because you came into my office without an appointment. So those are lofty accusations indeed. What evidence do you have?
We have a witness.
Derry, why did you say that out loud? We have enough evidence to charge you. So are you going to come with us the easy way, or are you going to make this hard for yourself?
He leans back on his ornate leathery chair and he says, we all know what life is like in Ravnica. Everybody is busy doing something. You know, has to be somewhere, and if there are obstacles in your way, you remove them. This is Ravnica, after all. I'll admit there are somewhat unorthodox methods for the Orzhov, but you Azorius become increasingly difficult to bribe the longer you live. Certain judges may have been in my way. I need certain people out of jail to remain out of it, so that they may continue paying their debt. It is quite simple. It seems you are quite set in your way. I cannot convince you otherwise. To just simply leave my office and my little friend there.
Tristan,
Mm-hmm.
Derry is going to go into a rage because how dare he try to bribe the law?
Straight up, you.
Can I just add something from chat. As Derry goes into rage, they were going to say we should have tried kicking the door, and I was going to fail, but Derry would have just like punched it open. But as he rages, his pecs are going to do like the peck pops, like boop boop boop.
Of course.
And then I'm gonna look at Derry, and I'm gonna be like, "Ooh, you're in trouble now. The pecs are popping."
I love it. And the advocate Hagen looks at you, looks at the popping pecs, and says, "I think you will find that I shall not be joining you." Is that a cat?
That is a cat.
And it's a cat butt. Cat
It's
butt.
a cat butt. Hey, cat butt.
Accurate. And the advocate says, "You are simply another obstacle." Everyone, please roll initiative.
Yes. Come on, Peralta. Geralta.
I'm first
So
gonna
as
yell
I
out,
went into rage, I probably dropped
Poor
the
Piff.
homunculus. Yeah.
Xena is not ready.
I am not ready either. I got a 4.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh, see the high five!
Despite my rage, I got 11.
Geralt.
Comments that I tell everyone, like, you heard what the man said. We're all witnesses now. He's confessed. So now we have to take him in forcefully.
Geralta
Golden 8.
is finally living up to his expectations, and is going to take Banana 7 to the forward with an 18.
Whoa!
Banana 7 to the forward. Loza, what was your initiative?
8.
8. That's everybody. Everybody has given me their initiative, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Going forward, Banana 7, you are first to react. What would you like to do?
I'm going to, as a bonus action, ward the homunculus
Yes.
with Sanctuary.
Ooh.
So they have to first make a wisdom saving throw if someone tries to attack it, and then must choose a new target or lose the attack or spell.
Cool. Please remind me if anything tries to attack the homunculus.
Cool. And then I'm going to rush forward and holding out my shield, and I'm going to use my pike, because I'm going to use the back end, because we don't want to murder him, and I'm going to attack him with the back end of the pike.
You may roll that attack.
Come on, dice, don't be a dick.
For flavor,
Yes.
do you jump like directly over the desk to him, or do you run around the desk?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn, and even though you don't have to say anything, I'm going to be like, Sanctuary! And then... and I'm going to go like, oh, as I'm like, you're protected. And then I'm going to run, and I'm going to place the shield, and I'm going to jump around, and almost like I was doing a kick, but with my pike. I'm going to like side butt the guy with a 21.
Definitely hits.
Yes, okay. 1d10 plus 3. Which one's the 10? No, it's cool. I got it.
Carla.
10.
Whoa!
10 damage.
Yes.
So you jump over exactly as you say, whack! And the man wasn't expecting it. He's not wearing any armor, and he just like takes it on the side of his body. And he's Right, anything else for your turn?
I'm going to stand looking cool and hold out my shield and be like, that's what you get for resisting arrest.
Fantastic. We move on to Hagen's turn. As a bonus action, he gives you like this incredulous look with his eyes, like, how dare you attack him? And then he disappears in a puff of smoke and reappears on the far end of the massive office, having Misty stepped there. And then he's going to cast Ice Storm.
Oh, damn.
I need you all to make a dexterity saving throw.
please remember all you have bardic inspiration.
I have a question, Tristan. I've got danger sense. Can I see him casting it?
Read danger sense is anything you can.
Yeah, it says I have advantage on dex throws against effects that I can see, so traps and spells.
So what I know of the spell here, it says a hail of rock-hard ice pounds to the ground. I'll say because you can see the ice falling suddenly from the ceiling, yeah, I'll say you can use that.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Tristan, he just needs to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Because of the homunculus.
Yeah, because if it's going to hit the homunculus.
What's his wisdom? He rolled an 11.
Being so well behaved.
That was not enough. My DC is 13.
So what happens again?
So it says here, on a failed save, the creature must choose a new target or lose the attack or spell. So I assume he just moves the attack further away, which won't hit Derry then.
Say that. I'd say that. I say Jeff's benefits from that because of the homunculus and what you've done. Yeah, sure. You're all pretty close together, so it's like Jeff's can still feel the ice pounding his teammates right next to him, having walked in, and the wispy, wet water of them pounding onto their friends. But yeah, I'll say he doesn't have to take any damage. What did everyone else roll?
Oh, damn, I need to roll. 18!
20, well done.
What are the odds? Like, I also have a nat 20.
No, I haven't. I'm
God,
natural
killing
20. I
me.
rolled 18 plus 2.
Oh, I've got
Oh,
a
I
nat.
see.
Me.
What save is
Congrats.
this?
It's a dexterity. So you're trying to dodge the ice shards and hail that suddenly starts falling from the ceiling as magic swirls in these clouds just above this fantastically looking ceiling and just plummets to the ground. Salt, what did you get?
I got 8.
Inspiration, you could add a d6. Just saying.
Oh yeah, let me add that d6, bro.
You all need
I
to
got-
beat a 14.
I did not.
Oh, God. Xena just hold up an umbrella.
Well, you do still take damage on a failed save.
I didn't
what I'll say for
the
them,
bulletproof umbrella.
yeah, for flavor you can do that. I'll say though for Losa, we'll make it even less, and we'll just flavor it appropriately. What was Geralta's roll?
17.
All right, so there's only one person that takes the full damage. Everyone else will take half, and then Losa will make it even less. So it is 2d8.
28.
I'm like,
No.
I'm dead then. Me, I'm dead.
I beg your pardon. No. It's 2d8 bludgeoning damage and then 4d6 cold damage.
Damn.
So, in total, if damage effects doesn't mean anything to you, in total it's 23. So half of that, do we say it's 12? Is it rounded down or rounded up? Let's say down. 11. So you all take 11 except for Salt, who takes 23. And then Loso, we're going to say you take 8 damage because you literally just stand there and all of the shards go next to you. And then like one bounces off your shoulder.
I'm going to collapse right now because that's me done. I just down.
Oh wow.
That was
Captain is
his
down.
big attack. All right. That is Hagen's turn. And that has just buffeted you from the skies. Jeff's, it's your turn.
Okay. As the captain goes down, I'm going to let out like a no, that kind of thing. And like because I'm still in rage, I'm just going to run with my great axe towards Hagen.
Sean, you can reach him.
And I'm going to, like, I don't know if Geralta's still in the way or if he got blown back.
No, because Hagen misty stepped across the rim.
Oh, right. So I'm just going to run directly at him, like screaming screaming very in a manly way.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm going to run at him and I'm going to try and, I don't know, basically decapitate him with my great axe because
Okay, where is the homunculus as you run?
the captain is down. I would have dropped him when I went into a rage initially.
Cool.
I think because you lose like what is it? Like you're not yourself. So
Thank you for that insight. Yes. You could please roll an attack.
Derry's famous mental breakdown moment, says chat.
Oh yes.
yeah.
Also,
That's why he does that high pitched scream, right?
What is? Hang on, I'm trying to add.
Kirsten, that cat. What is he doing? Oh, there we go.
What is...
I don't know what he's doing. I think he wants to move now.
15.
Oh no, but he was being so sweet.
Bye, cat
know.
butt.
15 hits.
Bye,
Roll
cat.
damage.
Oh, yay. So, damage is...
Also,
that was really crap.
Major Victory has battle music playing, and it's pretty epic. And I think their name is a symbol for what's going to actually happen for us, guys. Here's hoping.
Okay, I got...
I'm
So the
intrigued.
damage is 6.
Nje, just 6.
Just 6. Obviously, my avoidance to violence kind of stopped me at the last
I see,
moment.
yeah. You sort of pulled the attack a little bit. I got you. Anything else for your turn, Jeps?
The dice
No,
always
because
brings
I'm
them
just
back.
making screamy barbarian noises.
In his face, this massive
In
mountain
his
of a
face.
man is doing
Yeah,
this.
with
Yeah.
spittle and everything.
Rosa Tears, you're up.
So, as this guy keeps talking, Losa is just getting angrier and angrier until she starts glowing like a very purplish glow around her entire body. And as the captain goes down, this purple glow kind of shifts away from her and then latches onto this guy, this Orzhov guy. And I curse him with a Hexblade curse. So
I love it. Remind me what that does again?
it's I can do it as a bonus action. I can choose a creature in 30 feet. Target is cursed for a minute. If the curse ends early or I die, it goes away. Until it ends, I gain bonus damage against it according to my proficiency. And any attack I make it that's 19 or 20 is a crit. If he dies, I regain hit points equal to my level and charisma modifier.
Excellent. So it's not. Are you the only one who gets the bonus advantages to attacking him, or does your team as well?
No, it's
Only you. Okay. Cool. So that was a bonus action, right?
Yes, bonus action. So for my action, I am going to cast Witch Bolt on him.
Yes. All right. So you're rolling with advantage.
No, I don't get advantage. I just get a better crit.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
So that is a spellcasting. Plus 4. That'll be 16.
Yep, that hits. He's squishy.
It's because he's not wearing his hat.
Sorry,
Yeah,
guys,
hat is
Dice
all the
decided
armor.
to Dice decided to run away. Okay, so it is 9 damage.
9 damage.
This bolt goes out and kind of seems to latch onto him as it kind of makes this lightning bolt between me and him, and that kind of stays there and crackles between us.
He is not too pleased by that. When that connection first is made, he has a short, brief exorcist moment where he floats up and then back down, and now you see it there, and he's like sort of doing this weird twitch as he's not enjoying life. Is that your turn?
Yes, my turn.
All right, Salt and Xena, you are up next. Who wants to go first, or who has the higher dex?
Well,
Good
I'm
dex,
crap, so my dex is it's a. Oh, you mean my modifier? That's a +2.
I'm also +2. Can Xena go first because she's conscious?
Yes.
Yes, and then Salt, you're going to be making your death saving roll anyway, or maybe Xena
Yeah.
doesn't. Okay, what's up?
maybe you can help me. Just say.
Cat doesn't know what he wants.
Bye, cat.
So Xena's gonna cast Healing Word on the captain,
Mm.
and that
Yes.
word's gonna be pomegranate. So she goes up to the captain and she puts some hands on him. She goes, pomegranate. And I'm going to cast it at a 2nd level spell.
Which is how many dice to roll? Health.
It increases a d4. So we need to roll 2d4. Excuse me while I search for d4.
Would you like to roll it, or would you like Salt to roll it themselves?
Salt, do you want to roll it?
I'm here. I'm trusting you, Xena. You can roll for me.
I just want
Why
to.
did you not?
He's unconscious.
Okay, let me roll for myself if you can't find your D4. So 1d4, 2d4.
Just quickly.
I think it was 2.
I want to welcome North Star NGN, who has followed us, and yes, we are SA-based D&D, except for Tristan and Kirsten, who are in London, but they're OG from SA. Welcome. Also, Dark Wolf and Major Victory, I see all your suggestions, and I'm going to use them for next time, because I feel like if I connect my phone now, literally I feel like I might bomb this whole thing because South African internet. But welcome. I'm not typing because my typing makes loud clackings. So just look for visual reactions, North Star. But yes, NVS. That's so old school. I love it.
Did you say loud clackings?
Yes, I did.
What a lovely sentence.
You
You're
can't
such a-
take the South African out the chick, eh?
No,
It's very it's very west Joburg, isn't it? West Rand.
South Joburg.
Yeah.
South, guys.
South. Oh, dirty South. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna roll my D4.
All right. Yeah, it's Captain Healed.
2d4.
I got a 1 for my D4. You said 2d4.
Yeah.
And okay, so I got 5 hit points.
So you got 10.
All right. Thank you.
And she goes again, "You're welcome." And then steps away.
Lovely. I'm assuming that's your turn?
Well, I'm assuming I can't cast 2 spells in a turn, right? Even if Healing Word is a bonus action.
Yeah, I thought it was a bonus action.
I feel like that should be okay. I'll probably it's a wrong rule, but right now for house rules, we're just going to say if it's a bonus action, yeah, sure, why not? But I think
Okay, then
you're
I'm
right.
a cast hold person on the douchebag over there.
All right, what does he have to roll to
And
say?
he has to roll. Give me 1 second, because I wasn't planning on doing this because I thought I couldn't do 2 spells.
I mean, you probably can't, but we're all right.
Let's see within range. Blah blah blah. Wisdom saving throw. Of.
He rolled a 6.
He failed. I don't even care what my wisdom saving throw is.
Yeah, it's definitely not under 10. So you heal Captain. You say you're welcome. You turn to him and you go, and he's like shocking, and he's got black veins coming here from his hexblade curse, and you just hold him, and his arms go to his sides. And
then I go, "Xena, up," and she walks out the door.
Excellent,
Nasty wife
Captain.
behind her for flavor.
Yeah, but that's a
Okay.
spell. You can't cast another one now. This is
It's dramatic effect.
Okay, I regain consciousness and I make this big gasp of air. I'm gonna I was prone, but while I'm prone, I see Hagen and I you son of a bitch, and I'm gonna do a sacred flame. So basically,
Okay, yeah.
yeah. So he needs to do a dex saving throw, and the DC is DC of 12.
He rolled a 21.
Doesn't he fail because he's held?
Oh yeah, don't have to roll it like disadvantage, or no, he just automatically.
You
fails.
just automatically fail, son.
Sorry,
what
my
you gonna
DN
do?
screen is far away. He fails. I love it. Why did he even roll? Yeah. So
Yeah.
We're just rolling out your high rolls.
Okay, so that's a. All right, let's see. So that's a D8 plus my spell attack, so that is 9.
he takes 9 damage from your sacred flaming, and is now looking rather wounded and beaten, and looks like he could probably only take 1 more hit.
Can I
And
stand up
that's-
for my action? Is that it?
yeah, no, you can. You use half your movement to stand, so you've got 15 feet of movement if you like.
Okay.
If I am restrained, which I assume I am, I would have had disadvantage. Either way, we're going to say it failed. Carry on, as you were. That's your turn, yeah?
Yeah, and I'll just yell out, "Team, we almost have him. Let's go."
Very
Top of the
Don't-
round, Gibraltar.
And I'm going to whisper to myself, in with the winning blow. Come on, Gibraltar. And then I'm going to, as a bonus action, cast Wrathful Smite, which the next time I hit with a melee weapon attack during the spell's duration, I deal an extra 1d6 psychic damage.
Oh,
So I'm going to try
you're
and...
playing as Paladin very well.
Yes! And I'm going to try and attack him. Natural 20!
Wow.
I believe it.
That's hectic.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
really
Drama.
Also, they must make a wisdom saving throw.
All right.
Or be frightened of me, because I'm so amazing! And I'm going to, like, leap over the table and run dashing down the corridor to smash him.
What's the DC for the Wisdom saving throw?
13.
He rolled a 15.
Okay, he's not afraid of me. He should be, but it's fine.
All right, and you rolled some
Anyone
damage.
that Geralta arrests is afraid of him.
7 plus 8, 15.
Oh my gosh! Would you, in the words of one DM we quite enjoy, how would you like to do this?
I'm gonna leap over the table, running with the butt end of my spear out, and I'm going to do like a jump like this is Sparta, and then I'm gonna bop him on the head, and I'm gonna go, BOP!
The last thing this man hears before he passes out is "bop," and he goes down. He's unconscious.
And then I'm gonna do a little dance around him, and I'm gonna be like, Peralta back in the game. Geralta, forgetting my name, back in the game.
You are out of combat. Well done, everybody.
good job, team. Secure the prisoner.
I'm going to
Oh, right.
tie him up and carry him like a bag of potatoes.
I probably need to cancel the witch bolt because that thing will continue like frying him the whole time. So I let the bolt and the curse drop at the same time when the captain says.
Jeff, as you pick up the body, you see the vibrating dark energy around him, and the black veins that are seeping up his cheeks dissipate and slowly fade.
I'm like, scary. Cool.
I'm using.
What would
the
you like to do?
vestiges
How would you like
of
to...
of my rage to enable myself to carry him?
Yeah,
without
yeah.
struggling.
I mean,
Yeah.
for someone like you, it is but another little light body you can carry. How would you like to proceed? How would you like to get out of this bank?
The way we came, I would imagine. Or we can go via that busier area, that other staircase going down. Let's go back to the busier area. And
If you wanted to go directly through the bank with an advocate over your shoulder, you might be
okay, no,
stopped
let's go. Let's go. I mean, we have the full rights of the law, but let's go back the way we came.
I'm just going to turn to Captain Salt and say, should we not search his office? Maybe there's some damning evidence we can also present to the Senate when we charge him.
Well, we do have the witness, and we do have ourselves as witnesses when he just confessed to us, but by all means, you can assess the room. And let's secure the witness as well. And I turn and look at Piff, and I say, Piff, you'll need to come with us to make a formal statement.
I can do that.
I'm gonna go up to Pith and be like, "Are you okay there, little banana split? I saved you." And then
He looks at you incredulously, and he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, and he's
now
like,
he's wary of you.
and then
I'll
I
also leave
over to Geralta and just go like, come here.
okay, I'm gonna go investigate. Also, chat says Losa wouldn't have stopped the hex unless Captain Salt commanded it, and then she would be like, "Oops, my bad."
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see
Sorry,
Losa just
Chad.
like, oh,
Sorry,
I
Chad.
forgot.
So do you want to, what's going on here? Do
I
you want
think
to stay in
Losa's
the room
used
and
to
investigate
it,
further?
so she knew.
No, I think we have enough evidence, but I'll let Losa and Geralta do some quick checking, but I think we have enough to charge him, so we should go back to the station.
So I'm just going to lean over to Geralta and say, Geralta, you know those wolves at the Senate will look for any little detail to let this scumbag walk free. Maybe we should find something here to seal the deal, as they say. What do you think?
True story. So I'm gonna say, Captain, you guys can go on ahead. We'll search quickly and meet you, and then I'm gonna look.
Roll an investigation check while the rest of you file out into the passageway and start making your way down the secret staircase.
18. I rolled it just
Good
before.
enough. You sift through some drawers and move around some papers. They're just general documents and whatever. But with your keen Azorius 99 experience, you notice a false bottom in one of the drawers, and beneath it you find a small lockbox.
I'm going to show it to Losa and I say, we don't have time. Let's just bring this and let's go. In case the rest of the team gets in trouble.
Works for me. Start walking off, like jogging after the rest of the party.
Excellent. You make your way back out and sneakily through the bottom corridor, up through the banana grate, and the ghost, the indentured spirit that's there, kind of waves you by, strange sort of spirit, and you're out into now the nighttime air. And I'm assuming you will make your way back to New Prague,
Yes.
your HQ.
Yes.
Yes.
New Prague.
Yes.
Yes.
Is there anything you want to do before we close off this adventure in terms of the denouement, or are we happy to conclude, or is there anything specific you want to see, any scene you want to play out, any encounter? Or do you just come with everything to the station and go, we did it?
I'm going to...
Xena casts knock
Zero.
on the box, and then she's like,
Yeah.
now we did it.
Yeah, what's in the box? What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Yeah.
Derry will eat a banana afterwards.
In victory. Not yogurt, a banana.
Yeah.
A banana.
I'm gonna.
you return.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just proud of my.
Your pride is echoed by congratulations from your fellow officers, and you get treated to the familiar fare of getting the job done, as is the only way the Azorius Senate show their congratulations. Inside the lockbox, once Xena unlocked it, you find a list of names of assorted judges and Ravnica officials. Half of them have been crossed out, the last of which is Deputy Senator Brazia. So the final nail in the coffin, as it were, Hagen is put behind bars and given his judgment. A few normal days of report filing ensue, and the detectives attend their next briefing on a normal day of the Azorius 99. In the bowels of the building, the musty air rekindles your unchanging resolve for justice. Another day, another crime to solve. Another criminal for the Azorius 99 division put behind bars. Captain Ray Salt walks in, another file under his arms. And that is the adventure.
Ah, thank you.
Well done, everyone. You did so great. That was
That was
awesome.
so fun.
Thanks, guys. I just...
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I just want to say, Tristan, Kirsten, thank you so much for joining us. Dark Wolf says Tristan was awesome in all capitals. Major Victory has one slight note. He's like, there should have been a nuke and everything should have blown up because cool guys don't look at explosions. But other than that note, chat had a great time. The North Star even made up a song, dashing down the hall, intent on my next sleigh. All the baddies flee, screaming all the way. Loud screaming noises, which was playing in Peralta's head as I walked down the corridor. But thank you so much, Tristan, for running it. What a really fun adventure. It was awesome. Kirsten, as always, fantastic role playing. To the players, a huge thank you. I don't know if everyone wants to just say bye and then I'll close off.
Bye.
Oh no, I thought maybe you wanted to say a thing.
Thank you so much for having us. We absolutely loved it. Weird that the other
Thank
person
you.
even looks a bit like Gina. What?
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, did you just do your hair on purpose to get that Gina look? Because you've got it
No, my Gina-ness happens naturally, people. This is literally me showering for the stream.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
This is the lockdown life.
This is the lockdown life, people.
Please say bye to Milo.
He's here. Hold on.
Oh, Milo's the cat, guys. See, yeah, I'm the only person who by accident doxes people. So Milo is cat butt.
Yeah. Bye, Cat Paula.
Not D&D cat. Thanks, Paula. Thanks, everyone.
Cool.
Thank you. Can I just apologize for like shitty internet connection and whatnot? I'm so sorry, guys.
But it's okay, we love you anyway.
You better.
True story. Okay, cool. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you to the puffers in the chat. That's what we call everyone. Also, I appreciate Major Victory using our emote. Boom. As always, everyone, it's such a fun time to play games with you, and I hope everyone is doing safe and well and looking after themselves. Remember, you can find us on all the socials at Dum Dum Die, spelled DUMDUMDIE. If you enjoyed this, please share it with your friends, foes, families, and familiars. We're going to be putting it back on the podcast as well as on YouTube for you to rewatch at your leisure as many times as you'd like and share it with your friends. Other than that, I hope you're really well and stay safe and have a most amazing week filled with adventure. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.